Butterworth. I'm the Lautrec executive chef at Nemacolin Woodlands Resort. My grandma always used to joke, I would say I was going to be a chef when I was 8. I'd make her tuna salad sandwiches. It was something familiar and comfortable. It was a tradition every Sunday. And we talked about life, and we waited for, you could smell the sauce cooking on the stove. You could smell the yeast from the bread on the radiator rising, because that was her proofer. So it only made sense that I spend the majority of my life in a kitchen. Sourcing for me is absolutely probably the biggest priority. I probably spend half of my time talking to purveyors and sourcing the food just to make sure that it's the best it possibly can be. In this day and age, you don't know. You need to trust your purveyors. You need to trust the people you work with. So knowing and taking the time to build relationships, planning ahead to 3 years down the road, planning ahead to that asparagus that they planted for me 2 years ago, it's worth the wait. I think everything about what we do here is about putting the time into it. You know, what makes that food significant and why is it worthy of being served in this restaurant. So to get those specialty things, that's a chef's dream, to just play around with ridiculously amazing stuff. I mean, it should be fun. It's cooking. You know, it's not, if you're eating, you're drinking, and I'm cooking, and I'm not saving lives and changing the world here. You know, so it should be a good time. It should invoke memories and excitement and giggles. Every day when we light the wood-burning oven, I smell the wood, and I'm immediately 10 years old camping with my grandparents again. When people laugh, or you get that, when they sit down, you know, the food in front of the guests, you know, that is what it's all about. You know, that if the food just sits down in front of them, someone glances at it and continues on with their conversation, I feel like I failed. Because it should be something that either is goofy, that catches their eye and they giggle a little bit, like the Mrs. Butterworth bottle that goes to the table, or, you know, it goes down in front of them and it's so pretty that it stops them for a second and they kind of look at the plate. It's a really cool thing to see how these complete strangers walk through that door and I get hugged, and it's like I somehow made this emotional connection with someone before they even met me, just because of something that I fed them. And that's just like the coolest thing ever. And that goes all the way back to my grandma. The majority of my emotional connections with my grandparents were through food. You know, so it's really cool that that's still a thing. You know, I'm 36 years old and I'm still making connections through the one thing that I was making connections with when I was 6. You know, and I think that food's a very powerful thing, that it brings people together. And to be able to evoke these reactions and these connections with people, and to be able to build relationships with guests who just come in here maybe once every 3 months. And it's just a really neat thing to know that you have the power to create, even if it's an hour, you have the power to create an hour worth of really enjoyable things for people. I would say probably my biggest motto is Joe Hardy, where he says, take what you do seriously, but never yourself. And that's what I try. I mean, you can ask my staff, that's what I tell them all the time. The minute you take yourself too seriously is when things start to get a little tricky. It's a hobby that I'm getting paid for, you know, and that's the way we need to look at it. You know, you come in, you give 100% every day. You take the time, you source the product. You take the time to make it look pretty. You take the time to make sure it's cooked perfectly, seasoned perfectly, cared for perfectly. But you're not taking yourself seriously. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. You just don't make that mistake again. And then dive into it head first and never stop learning, because the people that stop learning are the ones that fall short, because you don't know anything in this industry. We're never going to master this. It evolves and changes, and there's new things every day. There's buttonquail eggs, a tiny little bird that puts out an egg that probably shouldn't come out of the tiny little bird. You know, so it's really about learning and growing, and learning from the 19-year-old line cook next to you and the 50-year-old grumpy lady in the prep kitchen, and learning from all those people. So I was just recently nominated as the Best Chef semi-finalist in the Mid-Atlantic for James Beard. That was the bucket list. I can retire now. So I ban, sorry, Nemacolin, no, just kidding. And then Lautrec just received its 10th Forbes 5-star and AAA 5-diamond awards, which makes them one of 30 restaurants to have both of those in the world. From the get-go, I was like, I want to be in a 5-star restaurant, and I want to be a chef of a 5-star restaurant by this point, and I want to, you know, go cook at the James Beard House, and I wanted to be nominated for a James Beard Award, and, you know, that's the goal. Now, I think the goal for the rest of my career is just to get better and have fun with it. I don't see myself ever being that executive chef who's not in the kitchen cooking. I see myself being in the kitchen, you know, and just bettering myself and to see how far I can push this and how much better I can get and how many more relationships I can form with purveyors and guests and things like that, and my cooks and my team, and see what I can build out of that. And passion is the driving force behind me. You know, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I just want to do this.